California Sexual Harassment Training Requirements. Let's begin with this statement from Anna Park, Regional Attorney for the EEOC. All employees, regardless of gender, have the right to work in a harassment-free workplace and should never be forced to endure such abuse. Sexual harassment can happen to both women and men. Although sexual harassment cases with men have long been exceedingly rare, according to the EEOC, the number of sexual harassment charges filed by males has steadily increased. In 1997, the percentage of charges filed by men was only 11.6%. By 2015, that number rose to 17.1%. For the sake of simplicity and prevalence, this training will focus for the most part on women, since 8 out of 10 women experience various forms of harassment and discrimination. However, my use of the pronoun she or my focus on women does not discount, preclude, or suggest that men cannot be victims. Women are overwhelmingly the victims of sexual harassment and have always been. Studies confirm that 1 out of 2 women experience some form of harassment. So that means if you're a woman taking this training, half of all of my female students have experienced sexual harassment. Therefore, most of the women listening to the sound of my voice have at least on one occasion been subjected to the sexually harassing behavior of a coworker or supervisor. Unquestionably, sexual harassment is a condition of employment daily encountered by millions of women. And victimization happens regardless of age, marital status, physical appearance, race, class, occupation, pay range, or any other factor that distinguishes women from each other. It is a problem that is not only an epidemic, it's pandemic, which means it is an everyday, everywhere occurrence. Because this is happening, many states, including California, are mandating sexual harassment training for all employees. The effects of harassment. The injury suffered by a woman subjected to acts of sexual harassment may be economic or psychological, or in many cases both. If the harassment leads to a tangible employment action, meaning she has been wrongfully terminated or denied a promotion, or she is a victim of a constructive discharge, which means she was forced to resign due to the harassment, the victim loses her salary, which provides her with economic security, insurance, pension, medical, and other benefits. If, on the other hand, she reports the harassment but she remains in her position, she may be branded a troublemaker, subjected to coworker hostility, blocked from further advancement, or suffer retaliatory discharge. In general, sexual harassment impedes a woman's prospects for economic security, reduces her productivity, lowers her job performance, diminishes her work aspirations, and limits her economic experience. Additionally, a number of studies indicate that sexual harassment has negative mental health effects and can lead to depression and PTSD, and can last for many years after the harassment. Workplace harassment can result in substantial costs to companies, including legal costs if there are formal charges of harassment, costs related to employee turnover, and costs related to lower productivity from increased absences, lower motivation, and commitment and team disruption. Michigan State University just announced it's settling with its student victims, paying over $500 million for the abuse from Dr. Larry Nassar. Fox News Network has paid more than $20 million in fines and damages for the sexual misconduct of Bill O'Reilly and Roger Ailes. So, with sexual harassment being such an issue, what's the solution for addressing workplace sexual harassment? How can Kenjin help you? Kenjin provides resources and training and has developed new tools like our Sexual Harassment Pain Tool and our Employer Liability Matrix to prevent and address workplace sexual harassment and assault, which are critical to making workplaces safer for all workers and capture resulting productivity gains. Kenjin conducts assessments for the risk factors associated with sexual harassment and assault, as well as climate surveys to assess the extent to which harassment is a problem in your organization. Kenja will also help you create and adopt comprehensive anti-harassment policies, communicate those policies to employees frequently, and fortify your organization with an affirmative defense. Kenja will also train your supervisors and middle management on how to respond effectively to observed instances of sexual harassment. We will also train your employees on workplace civility and bystander intervention training, and consult with top leadership to help establish a corporate culture that everyone can articulate and execute every day. You now understand the scope of harassment, that it includes men. 1 out of 5 cases are by men. You understand that women, 90% of all women have experienced sexual harassment. You also understand the effects of harassment, that they can lead to tangible employment actions. They cause depression, PTSD. You lose your benefits, you diminish your work, your aspirations, and your economic experience is limited. You also understand the cost to companies throughout this training, and you also know some of the solutions. Next, we'll go through a role play and get your thoughts on that, as well as a short quiz at the end.